Well, hello and welcome to Black Entrepreneur Institute live show. We're excited to be back with you today. I am one of the co-founders, Cedric LaFleur. You guys know me, along with my partners, Miss Angela Hooper Manyfield.
Hello, happy Tuesday night, everybody.
All right, and you know the great Dr. Nick.
Hey, everybody.
And then we have the collect and collab man himself, Mr. Damian, the sales guy Johnson.
Greetings.
And we actually have a guest, and I'm just going to introduce our guest up front. We're gonna do our monologue, but I'm going to introduce our guest up front. We have with us 12-year-old Miss Armani Ariana Grant. Hello, Armani.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we're going to talk with you in just a little bit. So, Angela, Damian, and Dr. Nick, this past weekend we hosted Connect and Collab, and during this event, Angela made a big splash announcement that we're launching our on-demand TV network. And I know that there was a lot of buzz in the audience about it. There have been people that have contacted me since then, and I'm sure people have contacted you guys as well. So, but don't worry, EL audience, I want you to know BEI Live is going to be right here with you. We love you guys, and we are not going anywhere unless Paul kicks us out. But we're going to be
here. And that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
that's right.
So, Damian, tell us, what feedback have you been hearing since we had Connect and Collab?
Cedric, I got to tell you, I'm just really humbled by the feedback, because people are saying that people who normally cringe at networking events said that they thoroughly enjoyed the Connect and Collab. They actually met real people, got real value out of the networking, and they were just super impressed with all of the ways that BEI, that we're blazing trails. And so overall, it was a smashing success, and I'm just grateful that we get to do this together.
Awesome. Yeah, I am excited about it as well. So Angela and Dr. Nick, so tell us about the energy around and the excitement around Expert TV and the announcement that Angela made. So Angela, you want to jump in there first?
Sure. So it was so interesting because, we learned through the years how, you kind of drop a few hints. So, I've been saying regularly, like, just stay tuned. There's a big announcement coming. And of course, nobody knew what it was. But I think even people who speculated, they had no idea it would be that. Right. Like, that's huge. And it's interesting because it actually took me back to how I felt when we collectively made the decision to move in this direction. And I just felt so overjoyed. So the excitement is there. I'm getting text messages. People who were in the room have told other people, and they're like, hey, I want to introduce you to this person. This is what they do. And they would be interested in being on your network. So it has just been greater than what I had anticipated. And I'm so excited about what's going to come for us come fall 2021 when we launch our first season.
Well, that is awesome. So, folks, you just heard from Rupert Murdoch, really, right there, Angela, right? So, Dr. Nick, what about you?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, the event was crazy, just awesome. And then the announcement, I think it just blew everybody away. Nobody was expecting it. So, as we did our networking, I mean, people were talking about just the ideas of what they could do, what their TV show could be. Even people who was like, I never thought about having a TV show, but the possibilities when Angela made the announcement, people were just, their minds were start going, the wheels are turning. They're like, I could do this, I could do that. I mean, it was just amazing. And that's what we're here to do with BEI, elevate mindset, give you possibilities of things that you may not even think that you can do, but you're giving you the opportunity to do so. So it was just amazing energy and amazing excitement about what we are going to be doing with Expert TV coming in the fall.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that is amazing. So let me introduce our special guest tonight. Um, Miss Imani Ariana Grant is our guest. And like I said, she is 12 years old. She is an author. She is a blogger. And let me tell you, she's a serial author at 12 years old. All right. She's a blogger and she's an entrepreneur. She started writing books when she was 8 years old. Imagine that, right? Her first book, Disco Balls of the Universe, is a very fun book that teaches kids about the 8 planets in the solar system from a child's perspective, right? Her second book, entitled The Golden Life of Sally Sunflower, teaches kids about the reproduction and the growth of the plant cycle using the example of the sunflower. Now, she recently published her third book, Virtual Lift Off, which teaches kids about the the forces: lift, drag, thrust, and weight, and how they play, how they help planes to fly. See, you can learn a lot from a 12-year-old, right? I'm going to learn about all this stuff myself, right? I got to take myself back to school. But you can learn about this. The link is going to be in the comments so that you can see all her books and you can go and shop for any of her books. That link is going to be on the screen here shortly. Imani's passion for making reading fun led her to establish a nonprofit organization and a book club named The Love of Literature, Inc. Look at that, folks. She didn't just stop with her books and say, this is it. She's saying, look, I have more to give. So the book club is for children ages 5 to 14-year-olds. The mission of her book club is to help kids discover the fun in literature, expose them to different authors, and strengthen their writing skills and build self-confidence through group interaction and many more things. So if you want your child to learn more, and Damien, I know you have a whole house full, right? So you want your children to learn more.
Got that right.
Learn more about literature, then you need to go to theloveofliteratureincom. That link is going to be also in the comments so that you can just click on that and go and support Imani. The club meets online once per month and features different authors globally. So, folks, while your children are out of school for the summer, boom, this is your opportunity to interact with Miss Imani Ariana Grant. Imani, you have been busy.
Thank you. I try.
Awesome.
I'm playing the video.
So, no, we're not. It's not a video. It's your question.
Okay, wonderful. So, Imani, just reading that got me excited because I'm a STEM girl. So I was all involved in that. So can you just tell our listeners, when and why did you decide to become an entrepreneur?
So I decided to become an entrepreneur at age 8 in 2019. And I decided to become an entrepreneur to inspire kids with what I'm writing and also teach them while I try to inspire them. I also want to inspire kids with the fact that I am a young Black girl writing books about STEM.
Awesome.
Well, that in of itself is highly impressive. I just to hear that out loud, 8 years old. And so let me ask you this, how at 8, because most kids at 8 are still, figuring out how to tie their shoes and, what's left and right? So how did you know even what kind of business that you wanted, Imani?
So it all started with my little brother and his love of science. And that's how I wrote my first book. And from then I decided to keep on writing books because when I saw his reaction to the book, he loved it. He looks up to his big sister, and I want to keep that going for many different kids. So that's how I decided to become an entrepreneur.
So just as a quick follow-up, so what's the age difference between you and your brother now?
We're 6 years apart. He's 6 and I'm 12.
Wow. So when you were 8, then I mean he was like only 2. That's really impressive.
Wow.
Thank you.
So Imani, listening to Cedric read your bio, it sounds, I just can't imagine that you started so early and you're doing so much. And with as much as you're doing, I mean, you've got the books, you've got the blogs, you've got all the stuff going on. Tell us, I want to hear from your perspective. I want you to describe the products and the services that you provide. So tell us from your lens, you describe it in a way that is, that would help our audience understand it from your viewpoint.
So daily I sign my books. Here they are. They come in hardcover or paperback. And I package them. And when you order my books, depending on which kit you order, you can get different things in a box with my name on it.
Okay.
And the different things that come in the box are, depending on what you order, I'll list them all. We have this world ball. We have this plant holder.
Mm-hmm.
We have a passport cover. This one's a surprise. We'll give you whichever one. So if you receive one, you get a different one. We have a planetarium. Then the books come in the box, and we have some stickers. Stick on your passport. We also have this bookmark that comes in the box.
Wow.
And this plate.
So when someone orders your book, they're not getting just a book. They're getting a whole package of stuff to go along with it.
Yes.
Absolutely genius. I love it. Now, let me just ask you a follow-up. So which of these are, this is probably going to be a little bit of a hard question, Imani, but which one do you like most? And tell us why.
That is a hard question. So I would probably say my favorite of the 3 so far would be The Golden Life of Sally Sunflower.
Okay, why?
It's mostly based on my personal interest in plants and gardening.
Oh, so you like to garden, huh? Like to grow things?
I do.
That's
so
amazing.
awesome.
That's amazing. From starting at 8 to where you are now, Imani, just the things that you're doing and the products that you have are just really just something that is going to help a lot of young people. So what is your real motivation behind the work and the products and the services that you're doing?
So my motivation would probably be the feedback and on my supporters, my loving family, my friends. They all support me, and that just keeps me going. Whenever I get tired of signing, my hand gets hand cramp, I keep going because I just think of the smiles that I could put on the children's faces when they see my book and when they see me in my book, because I believe that representation really matters.
That's awesome. So who would you say inspires you the most and why?
I would say my mom. She handles all the marketing in my business, and she works hard and looks great doing it. She has a lot of fun doing her job, and I hope to be like her one day.
Awesome.
Wow, you have got to love that answer. If you're a parent, you've got to love hearing that answer roll off of her lips. So Imani, let me change gears a little bit, right? Because I know you're this extraordinary author and blogger, and I love your packaging idea. I'm going to make sure I order all 3 tonight. But tell me, in school, what's your favorite subject and why?
I would say sciences. It's the most interesting to me. There are a lot of different branches of the science. There's biology. There's all sorts of different science things that you can explore. My favorite would probably be the hands-on. Anything hands-on in science is my favorite.
Awesome.
My kind of girl.
Yes. Science is where it's at. And I love it. So Imani, what's been your most rewarding achievement so far? I know it's only been 12 years, but
So I would say my most rewarding achievement in my business would probably be when I sold over 1,000 books in 2020. That was probably the most rewarding, not because of the profit, but because of it was really a waker upper. It was a milestone for me that I sold over 1,000 books. That was just amazing to me to see how far I've come and how much I've done.
yeah. And the profit's not all bad either, right?
Yeah.
That is such a great accomplishment. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You hear a lot about what didn't go well in 2020. So, all last year, the four of us, we continue to encourage people and talk about there's a lot of things that is going well. And that testimonial is one of those things. So again, congratulations.
Thank you.
So we talked a little bit about, one of your highlights, but, one of the things we know that sometimes our most important lessons come from some of the difficulties or challenges that we have. So can you give us an example of maybe a problem that you faced and how you were able to overcome that?
So one of my biggest problems in general in my business would probably be my fear of going on stage where people are watching me. And over the years, I've developed immunity to that. But at first, it was kind of scary. People were expecting me to be perfect. I felt like that I should be perfect. And if I'm not perfect, then I'll just slip and mess up. But over time, all the love and support really kept me going. And over time, I got over that fear.
That's really good, because I know, the fear of speaking in public is when they do these studies and whatnot, there's certain things, heights, fear of public speaking, that are always at the top. So having gone through that journey, what would you say you actually learned from overcoming that?
I learned that I can really put my mind to anything, and it can be done if I just believe in myself. If I just face my fears head on, they'll go away. Like, another fear that I have is insectophobia. I have a fear of bugs, and I really, really, really do not like them, especially the ones that fly. So I decided that today there was a bug in the house, and I just decided to just ignore it. It's not going to hurt you. It's okay if it's buzzing by your ear. Just go for it. Head on.
Awesome. It's interesting you said starting out in the insectary. I love bugs, so this, I'm science girl. So Imani, I want you to take us about 10 years into your future. You're 12 now. At, let's say, 22, what do you see for your life?
Well, I see myself in college. I see myself working to get a bachelor's in science and a major in whatever it is that I want to get my career. And I want to become a nutraceutical scientist. So I see myself definitely in college, working hard, not going to drop out, not going to stop, going to keep working.
I love it.
Wow. Wait, now, and I'm a science guy. I have my degree right here on the wall, but what did you say you want to be?
A nutraceutical scientist.
A nutraceutical scientist. Okay, all right. I like that. So we're gonna have you plan on be one of the people on the Big Bang Theory as well, with those physicists and all those guys.
That is too funny.
So One of the things that we often see with young people and even people like myself, because I personally have a mentor. So I'm just kind of curious, do you, Imani, do you have a mentor? And if so, what has been one of the lessons you've learned from that relationship?
Well, I would say my mentor is my mom. My mom taught me everything about entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur that I know. She taught me everything about how to run a business and how to sell my books. So I would say she is my mentor. And one of the lessons that I learned was how to package and sign books and also how to talk to customers on the phone. I'm still a little scared of doing that when customers call to ask about their order. I still get a little scared, so I don't really like to do it, but sometimes I'll give it a shot. So
I have no doubt you do a great job, and people, your customers probably are really happy to talk to you on the phone.
They mostly talk to my mom, but when they talk to me, I really hope that they really hear me and see me in my business.
Mm-hmm. That's sweet.
Awesome.
That's so awesome. So Imani, let me ask you this, because I imagine that, with all the success that you have, I mean, you have 3 books and your packages and your blogging that you're doing right now. I bet that you have probably maybe even some of your friends, your peers that now sort of look up to you. Do you find yourself having the chance to also be a mentor to other young people because they see what you're doing?
Yes, I try to be a mentor to other young people. I try to inspire people with my books, but I also try to inspire people with my story. I try to inspire people to chase their dreams like I have chased my dream, and I'm going to keep chasing my dream in hopes of inspiring others to continue to chase their dreams.
Wow. I somehow I knew that was going to be the answer. So then let me ask this as a follow-up question then, right? Because if you could think about maybe even come up with a list of maybe 2 or maybe 3 things that adults can help your generation with, what would those 2 or 3 things be?
I would say those 2 or 3 things would probably be definitely support. Keep supporting the kids or start supporting the kids with whatever they're doing. And another thing would probably be expose them to the resources that they need to continue to do those things they want to do.
Yes.
I would say push them to do their very best and absolutely no less. And another thing would probably be make them feel comfortable to come to you and ask for help whenever they need it. Make them feel comfortable to ask you to help them to better themselves. And that's what I think that the generation before us could do to help us.
I think that's amazing. I'm just also a little curious, if I may. I don't want to take up too much time, but tell me a little bit about why these things are important to your generation.
I think it's no offense to the last generation, but I think it's important that the generation after a previous generation should try to better themselves than the previous generation, to try to evolve new materials and do different things and new things that could better the population. And that's why I think it's important for the previous generation to help the generation before them.
Wow, you've got wisdom beyond your age, young lady. I'll tell you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm sitting here going, wow, okay. I at 12, I wouldn't be able to answer that. I'd be like, I don't know, give me some new toys, a new Tonka truck. That's awesome. So, Imani, tell us, you're out for the summer now, right? So tell us something you learned in school that's going to help you make an impact in the world.
I would probably say that 2 of the things that I learned in school that would help me make an impact in the world would be what I learn in science. What I learn in science could really help me to better medicine and better different things in the science field. Like, who knows? Maybe kids in the class of science could be the next Kizzmekia Corbett. And also language arts. Language arts also helps me to sharpen my writing and reading skills.
Mhm.
So that's what I learned.
All right. Well, look at that, man. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna 2 chips. All right.
I love it. I love it. So, Imani, in thinking about all the things that you're doing, the motivation that you have to do even greater, if there was one thing that you can change about yourself, what would you say that would be?
I don't exactly know, but of course I'm open to feedback from others around me.
I love it. I love it.
So, Imani, I'm gonna put up a thing on the screen here. We got a comment from somebody I think you might know.
Thanks, Mom.
But there is no prouder moment. I have no doubt. As a mama, there is no prouder moment. And look, we know how proud we are of you. I have no doubt. I know your mom's just beaming, and congratulations to her on the success that she's just had with you and mentoring you and raising you and having you as her child. So what advice would you give fellow teenagers? Because I know a lot of young people, we hope, and we always encourage our audience to, get the kids, sit them in front of the computer and let them see our youthpreneurs. But if there is a young person out there who's thinking, you know what, I would like to be an entrepreneur. I would like to take my passion and turn it into profit. What advice would you give them on becoming an entrepreneur?
I would say definitely go for it, but keep in mind that it is not always going to be a clear, straight road. There's definitely going to be some work that you have to put into being an entrepreneur. Like if you become an author, you have to sign your books, you have to answer to your customers and other tasks of being an entrepreneur. But the benefits and the profit are definitely worth your time and your work.
Yes, it is.
So Imani, here's the thing, right? We brought you all the way here, and we want our audience to rally behind you and to support you. I already said I'm buying everything that you've got in that store, but you need to tell us now and tell our audience how can they get in contact with you to be able to pick up your books and the packages and all the great things that you're doing, the book club. How can they get in touch with you? What's the way to connect?
Well, you can connect with me in my Gmail, imaniarianag@gmail.com. You can find all my books on Amazon, but if you would like your child's signature in the book, you can order off of my website, imaniariana.com. My Instagram is imaniarianag. My Facebook is imaniarianagrant. And you can also contact me through, again, my mom's phone number, but I'll ask her to put it in the chat.
So we should have the links in the chat for you friends. So please go out. Let's support this brilliant young woman who is blazing trails. Get behind her and buy these books and their packages and give them as gifts, even if you don't have young people. But let's rally around her. Let's support her business, and let's show her the love that we feel, because she is so brilliant and she's dropped so much wisdom with us tonight. I mean, I feel like you're my daughter, because as you're answering these questions, I feel this sense of pride raising up. And Shanika, you've done an amazing job with her. I got to tell you, we are so impressed with you. We got to get you back on the show sometime too.
Definitely. So, to piggyback on what Damien said to our viewers, to make sure we support your business, because we want you to hit another milestone for 2021, right? We sold 1,000 books last year. Let's try to double that and get at least 2,000 for 2021. So let me ask you this question. Oftentimes entrepreneurs and people, even adults, right, they juggle with how to manage their priorities. So talk a little bit about how you've been able to, go to school, I'm sure you have responsibilities at home, chores and whatnot, and also be an entrepreneur. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So before school ended, I used to go to school early in the morning. Once school finished, I would get off of my computer and I would go straight to signing books. Sometimes I would get a little break in between, but most of the times I would sign the books and help my mom package them. And we would go to the post office by before 5. And now that school is out, I get a lot more free time. So I have free time to have a balance of relaxation, chores, and my business at the same time.
Very well stated. I love that.
Thank you.
Having harmony, getting a little bit of both, right? Relaxation, some fun, make some money, go to school. It's all good. That's wonderful.
Yes, awesome. So, if you could, Imani, give us, and this is a little bragging moment for you, okay? But give us 2 or 3 unique qualities that separate you from the crowd. I could probably come up with 10 already just from what you said tonight, but from yourself, give us 2 or 3 that kind of separates you from the average 12-year-old.
I would probably say that I am an author. Of course, that's the first thing I would say, but not a lot of children my age are doing what I am doing. And I would also say I am a child author. I'm a child author who writes books starting at the age of 8.
Awesome. Excuse me. And I know that I talked about your books at the beginning of the show, but Disco Balls of the Universe. Tell us a little bit more about that book.
So in Disco Balls of the Universe, I am on Earth wondering what's out there in space, and I take a spaceship to space, and we are having a dance party with all the planets. We go through each of them, and we learn one or two things about the planets, and then we go home. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
That sounds like a lot of fun. My kind of party. I love it. So Imani, this past year has been rough for a lot of young people, going through the pandemic and dealing with the changes that you have to do in school and just the overall interactions with friends and social distancing and all of that has happened within the last year. So what has been kind of like the most impactful thing to you or maybe in your business during this time of crisis?
I would probably say that it would be the crisis itself. It had a good impact and a less good impact. So I'll start with the bad and go to the good. So I would say that my least favorite part about being in a business in the pandemic is not being able to travel as much and go to Black Wall Street and go to live events where I get to interact with the kids and their parents. It's a lot of fun when I go to these events, and I was kind of upset when I heard that the pandemic wouldn't allow me to go anymore. But what's good about the pandemic is now that more people are home, they're online. And now that more people are online, they find my ads, they find my business, and they buy for their kids. So.
Awesome.
That's a great point, and a lot of people had to figure out how to pivot during COVID. So you're exactly right. People stayed home more, they did more buying. And so those of us with that online presence got to reap the benefit. But one of the things, if I remember correctly from your bio, is that you also have a nonprofit. So can you tell us just a little bit more about your nonprofit and why you made the decision to actually start one and the mission behind it?
So my love of reading motivated me to start a nonprofit book club where kids could come and read, but not only just read. We have a lot of fun with the book club. We have different authors come and share their stories. We play games, mostly based around literature. It's a lot of fun. And this summer we are doing a week book camp where we are going to have more authors come and share their stories. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Wow, that's so good. So Imani, I really love this that you have a love for reading because I feel like that's one of the keys to success in life. Leaders are readers, and I love that you talked about the impact that that seeing the when you wrote your first book, how it impacted your little brother and seeing the way he reacted inspired you to keep on going. But I understand also that your little brother is also an entrepreneur. Is that right?
Yes, he is. He sells fashions for children his age, and he sells math boxes, mathematical intelligence stick boxes. Kids can practice their math, multiplication, subtraction, addition, division. And yes, he's also an entrepreneur.
That's so good. And so are you helping him and are you teaching him your experience? You showing him the ropes of what being in business is like?
Me and my mom help him sometimes. Sometimes I will show him the ropes a little bit. I'll help him package his things. Sometimes we have to swap bags because we run a little low. So we work together. You can find things at nathanavenue.com.
nathanavenue.com. So that's where we can find his mathematical books and literature. Tell me what this product is one more time for our audience.
It is the Mathematical Intelligence Stick Box. He
The
also sells
mathematical
fractions for
intelligence stick box.
That's
Awesome.
amazing. That's amazing. I just love, even from you and your brother, because we know he's 6 years younger. So I'm like, wow, now he's an entrepreneur as well. And you mentioned earlier that, your mom is a major force of support, of inspiration for your journey in entrepreneurship. So in thinking about just the love and support that your mom gives, what advice would you give to other parents out there who may have a child, either your age, younger, or even a teenager that maybe has an idea, but not really knowing where to go? What would you tell that parent advice to how to support their child in this journey?
I would probably tell the parent to absolutely positively support the child in their dream. And I would also tell them to definitely try to be involved in getting the child where they need to go to achieve their dreams, giving them the resources that they need to achieve their dreams. Definitely support them and encourage them to follow it.
I love that.
It's amazing. Everybody in your house is an entrepreneur. So I just have to, is your dad an entrepreneur too?
No, he's an engineer.
He's an engineer. Okay, all right.
He inspired me to write my latest book, Virtual Liftoff.
Oh, no. Yeah. Tell us about that book, Virtual Liftoff.
So in the book, we are going on vacation to Jamaica, and while I'm on the plane, I wonder.
That's
My
what
mom
they're
came
from.
up
You
with
can't figure that out.
We're going to Montego Bay, which is our hometown. So we are going to Jamaica, and while I'm on the plane, I wonder how the planes fly and what the plane needs to fly. And my dad takes me to a virtual world because there are headsets on the plane, which would be a dream if every plane came with headsets. So we go into the virtual world and we learn about the forces. We go on an adventure. And then once we arrive, there is going to be, oh, wait, nope. I'm not going to say anything else.
Get the
I
book.
love it.
Get the
I love
book.
it.
That's right.
I
So-
love it.
Imani, it's really been such a joy having you here. But I got to ask you, with all the things that you have going on, I mean, you're reading, you've got your book club, and you're constantly writing new books, because we didn't even know about that one, the Virtual Liftoff. What do you do for fun, just to be a 12-year-old? What's fun look like for you?
Well, fun looks like, now that the pandemic hit, it's not really running in fields or sitting at the lunch table with your friends during lunchtime and talking about all sorts of different things that's been going on. Fun looks like for me now during the pandemic going onto my balcony and watering my plants, definitely. That's the most fun. And also, well, playing games. I like to play video games, mostly Roblox. I like to play video games with my friends online. That's how we communicate mostly these days. I also like to run around the house with my little brother. We'll go outside occasionally and run in the field at the playground. And yeah, that's what fun looks like.
Wow. So it's a little different than prior to the pandemic, huh? But you've made the adjustment.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so good.
Wow. So, excuse me. I see your mom said, and Damien and Nicole, you have to help me with this.
You got to translate that.
Yeah, translate that for me. What's a yawdy?
It's a yadi, not yadi.
Yadi. Yes,
Yadi.
yes.
What is it?
A yadi is
It means like a homie, someone else from Jamaica.
yeah.
Like sometimes we live in Connecticut, so we'll see other Jamaicans. Sometimes we'll hear it in the voice. And then it's full out patois from them.
That's it. She knows.
You don't know.
Yes.
See, Imani, you
favorite
bailed
part about
Damien
Jamaica
and
would probably
Nicole
be
out.
the
They
food.
didn't
The
know what
food
it
is-
was really.
She knows.
So Imani, your mother is Jamaican or your father?
Yes, my mother and my father.
All right. Where in Jamaica they're
Awesome.
from?
My dad was from Kingston, I think, and my mom was from Montego Bay.
All right. Okay.
Mhm.
Not as if we didn't have enough reason to support you.
I
Now
know,
you're
right?
on yadi vibes. So
All right.
don't have to get everybody to come buy more stuff from you.
That's right.
I like
So-
to consider myself Jamaican.
Okay, all right. So I see the audience is trying to correct me. Awesome. So Imani, if there was a book that was written about you, now you didn't write this book, someone else wrote the book. Let's say your 6-year-old son wrote the book about you. What would the title of the book be? And what would the summary in the back of the book say?
I would probably say that the title would be Ariana Rising or something really weird like that. And the subtitle would be One Regular Girl, One Regular Summer. What will she do? The summary would probably be basically how it all started for me. It was regular summer, right after 3rd grade. She was sitting on her balcony. She wanted to write a poem. She looked up at the sky. She looked at her brother. And bam, an idea.
Wow. I like that. So Angela has a question of when is this book coming out?
Which one?
Yes, the Ariana Rising.
Yeah, Ariana Rising. When can we look for that on the shelves?
I don't know. Maybe 2 years from now.
Well, since we'll all be following you on your various platforms, and again, ambassadors, make sure you put that in the comments. We'll all be up to date on when that's coming out, but definitely keep us posted on your successes, your new activities, because not only do we want to continue to follow you, but we want those who follow us to do the same thing, because one of the things we've always tried to do is to use our platform to elevate the platform of others. And there is nothing greater than to be able to elevate the platform of somebody like you. So gifted, talented, and just so giving to pour into the lives of others. And we really are proud of you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So that Facebook ads work, because that's how I got in contact with her. I saw her come across my Facebook and I was like, I got to find out who this is. And boom. Awesome. So we're going to wrap up the show. It's amazing how this time just flies by.
Yeah.
We're going to have to ask Paul, we can buy some more time.
Well, if we buying, I have no doubt we can get it, right?
So, there was a group of school children that were visiting a little village, and they were really enjoying themselves. They were having a good time, and they were liking this village. And as they were walking in the village, they came across this old man sitting on the sidewalk, and so they stopped and asked him, did he live there? They were excited to talk with someone that actually lived there. And he said, yes, he's lived there all his life, that he loved it. And they said, well, we have a question for you. Have there been any great babies born here? And the old man just kind of looked at him and he just smiled. He says, no, only babies. See, folks, today in this country, in this city, only babies are born. Right? Those babies that are born are listening right now in their house to this interview. They are somewhere in your house, in your car, wherever you are. They're watching this broadcast. See, greatness comes from us teaching and grooming and implanting values in those babies, just like Imani, I'm sorry. And I want you to understand, folks, just like Imani's parents put values and taught her all of those things, that's what we have to do for all our kids. See, they're not born great. We make them great. You're seeing tonight the products of being made great. Talent is a gift. Every person is born with talent, but greatness, folks, that's a choice. So I hope that you choose for your child and for yourself and for your family to be great. And I also want you to stay connected to the Black Entrepreneurs Institute. You only can be great if you're on TV, on Expert TV. So come be great with us. Angela, share with our audience how they can have their own channel on Expert TV.
So, guys, look, here's what we know. While all of us and many of us, especially people in my generation, right, we still watch traditional TV. The new way to watch and enjoy entertainment is definitely streaming and on demand. And so the four of us have come together in another business venture, and we have now launched Expert TV. And where you can find us will be on the app of Exposure TV. But if you have a show idea and if you would like to begin to really impact the lives of others via your own show on our network, you're an expert in whatever field. That could be cooking, sports. You want to talk about books. You may have a youth program, entertainment, speaking events. You have documentaries. It doesn't matter. Reach out to us at www.blackentrepreneurinstitute, so no s.com/expert TV. Reach out, put a post in this video if you're watching it, but pitch your show, because you may very well have an opportunity to be in our fall 2021 lineup. Again, that's www.blackentrepreneurinstitute.com/expert TV.
Absolutely. And Dr. Nick, we have our next business boot camp coming up here in a few weeks.
That's right. Our business boot camp starts July 6th. And guys, as you were listening to Imani, she had told you, that entrepreneurship is a roller coaster ride. There are highs, but there are lows, but you have to find a way to keep going. So if you are in business and you're feeling stuck somehow, you're looking to take yourself to the next level, this business boot camp is for you. It's 8 weeks of intensive work. So remember, she said that she doesn't even like getting on the phone sometimes to create sales, to talk to clients, but we help you with that. We have simulations. We'll put you through the test to make sure that you know how to negotiate, you get comfortable with sales. We'll teach you how to find your niche and understand your clients and truly establish a brand for your business and really take your business to the next level. We are here to help entrepreneurs elevate their mindset and their money, right? Because if you're not making money in business, you just have an expensive hobby. And we want to make sure that you have something that is sustainable. Like Imani, she says she can see her business going all the way into the future. And that's what we want for each and every one of you. So you need to register for our upcoming boot camp, July 6th at blackentrepreneursinstitute.com/enroll. Did y'all get that? blackentrepreneursinstitute.com/enroll. So we'll hope to see you in our next cohort.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Imani, for being on the show. And thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.